Let's take a look at the web quest for a second and just make sure that we're still, what we want the students to do is still aligned with some of our standards. I really liked the first section. The first section was a lot of background information, and I think that the students really liked this one because one of the questions asked them, do you think a hurricane would ever be named after you?
Yeah, they love that, yeah.
And they had learned a little bit about the history of naming hurricanes. And specifically, they were interested in when the hurricane season was, and were a little bit surprised that it wasn't at other times during the year. But the question about, you know, whether their name would be, some of them said, my name's really weird, so it'll never be named after me. It was kind of interesting to see some of those reactions, but then learning a lot of background information about typhoons and the difference between warnings and watches.
That was something that they did not really know anything about,
No.
which is interesting because they have those, you know, on the weather all the time.
The thunderstorm warnings and thunderstorm
Warnings and
watches.
watches.
And what the difference is.
And to be honest, before I put this together, I didn't even think of it. I just heard a W word and I thought, oh, this is going to be bad.
That's true.
But there's a significant difference between the watch and the warning, and a lot of them were, just interested in that because then when they ended up, the storm last week, when they ended up hearing about it on the TV, they knew it was real because it was a warning.
And also, I like the web quest for you guys because, you know, with Common Core and Park, everything that they have to read, and this is one of the things we work on reading, what they have when they take those tests, it is all online, and then they have to answer online as well. But up until recently, everything's been paper and pencil for them, and so when you guys do the web quest, it really helps us to practice reading a text on the web and then being able to answer it, because we do those things continually in reading from the web and then answering, because it's something they need to do because they're not quite used to it yet because everything's always been paper and pencil.
We could look into that maybe next year, finding a way for them to answer the questions online, maybe respond on a wiki or Edmodo
Or Edmodo,
or
that's what we're
something like
doing.
that. Because the last year, and then we'll do the same thing this year, I have all the questions aligned with what's online on this paper, and they just wrote it. But I mean, it's still good practice.
It is.